Good afternoon, YouTube. DutyRon checking in on another video. Today I'm going to just talk about very quickly because I have limited time. Letitia Staunch, she somehow managed to slip out of her handcuffs. This is all reported by the news on Wednesday during her transport. And I'll just talk about really quick what's happening with that and what's the ramifications on the additional charges that she'll face for trying to escape her confinement during a transport. It's a serious matter. Guys, my name is DutyRon. I'm retired New York City Police Detective. If you're new to the channel, or if you're just stumbling across this video, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so all things DutyRon, when I do go live or upload or do a premiere, you'll get notifications when I'm live. Hello, Joey Brooklyn. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. So there was talk. They made a stopover in Kansas for about 12 hours. The stopover in Kansas could have been one or two things. It could have been because the transport officers were fatigued, or there was an incident. And it looks like, as per the KTTV in Colorado, they are reporting that she slipped out of her handcuffs and assaulted a deputy. If that in fact is the case, escape or attempted escape carries severe penalties. So she will also incur additional time, murder first degree. This is just going to be icing on the cake. It's just going to be piled on charges. You know, the murder first degree, if convicted, is severe punishment. Obviously, life in prison where she belongs, or death if all the jurors get together, and it has to be anonymous. It has to be all of them together. They have to all say we are for the death penalty in the sentencing phase. And I don't see that happening. It hasn't happened in a long time. So they all have to come together on an agreement. Every juror has to say, yes, we think she deserves the death penalty. But we'll see what happens. Yes, John, she already had the suicide vest on in her booking in El Paso County. Let me just say quickly one thing, guys. For those of you who don't know me, I served 20 plus years in the police department, in the New York City Police Department, the largest police department in the world. I'm proud of my service, but I was in the fugitive apprehension team for the last 5 years before I retired. So I got a promotion to work in the trip team, and you guys see a lot of times I wear the NYPD jacket and it says trip team on it. And what the trip team means is we would go out and extradite people from other states and bring them back to New York City to face felony charges. We would only go out of state for severe felony charges. So the people that my unit was involved in picking up were bad people. Murder, felony charges, assault, robberies, bank robbers, things of that nature. Really bad people. And part of the plan and the production of being and going out and getting someone, when we would do our tactical meeting, when we would put our tactical meeting together, part of the plan was obviously safety, and we would never ever let the perpetrator who we were picking up know exactly what day we were coming for him. So, Tammy, no, never. I'm going to explain to you what we used to do and what probably still is going on. So we would never ever let the actual inmate know the exact date and time, because they can make phone calls from within the jail and say, hey, they're going to come get me today at 12:30, and this, that, and the other. So it was always a safety issue for us. We always wanted to use surprise. We would let the prison know that we were coming for them, but we would always tell them not to tell the actual inmate of when we were coming, and just they didn't need to know. When they got picked up, they would get picked up. But we would shackle their legs down, bolted to the seat of our vehicle, into the floorboard. So there was leg shackles on the person and a travel belt. And what the travel belt was a belt that went around them with handcuffs in the front, and that belt would go around their waist. So, yeah, absolutely, Joe. That doesn't show that she was a good person. So, yeah, so we would use extreme safety precautions. Hello, Katrina. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being in here. So, you know, when we would drive somebody, and I'm talking the only distance that we would drive is maybe 150, 200 miles. Sometimes 250 miles would be the max that we would drive. Anytime that we had somebody outside of that 250, 300 mile range, we would take a flight. We would fly them back from whatever state we would go. So we would put them on a commercial airplane, and we would board before any passengers boarded, and we would be in an area that nobody would really know that there was a prisoner on the plane, and then we would deboard at the last. We would deboard last on the plane. So I flew many prisoners on commercial airlines. The problem is I think El Paso County, they probably don't have an extradition team. New York City Police Department is 40,000 members. So we had our own extradition team, and we had the extradition team in place. So we were a very large police department, and we had provisions in place for when one of our bad guys were out there, we would come and get them. Thank you so much, Calcutta. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I feel El Paso County may have, in my eyes, it's a tactical mistake to drive somebody from South Carolina to Colorado, and it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. And I know budget restraints, and there's a lot of different things that come into place when you pick up a prisoner. It's a very expensive venture when you're driving, or when you have to fly somebody from South Carolina to Colorado. So it's no joke. Pamela, could be. Anything is possible. She might have been trying to end her life. I don't know. None of us will know. It's just speculation at this time. I think, Joni, that they will try for that, but it's up to the judge, and I don't think that they'll give that to her. It doesn't matter where she goes. It's a well publicized case, so it's going to be difficult at best. I don't know the extent of the injuries to the officer. I really don't know the extent of the injuries, but I don't think it's anything major. Otherwise, they would have spoke about it. Hello, Nabul. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Hello, Paul Peck Drywall, Soul for Music. Good to see you, Kathy from Texas, and all of my good friends coming on in. It is a long drive. So what happens is sometimes I spoke about this on my last live. A lot of the smaller agencies will hire a transportation private company to pick up a perpetrator. It's commonly done. I used to see outside the Queens Supreme Courthouse where I worked. I would see the Queens Supreme Courthouse outside where I worked. I would see people from Arizona, transportation bonded companies that were armed guys that were not cops, but they were almost like armed guards that you see riding around in the armored car trucks, the money trucks, and a lot of municipalities will hire these guys. There's a well-known escape that happened between a husband and wife team. I think they were out of Arizona, and they were being extradited by a company, and they overpowered both the guards, and they got away, and they were wanted for murder. So they were really, really bad people, and they got away, and that happened in August of 2019. So the charges, if she assaulted a federal officer, the charges will be federal. If she assaulted one of the El Paso County sheriffs, it's not going to be a federal charge. When you're moving someone across the state lines, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person is going to be charged with a federal crime unless she assaulted a federal officer. They were probably with a U.S. Marshal. When you travel and bring someone across state lines that committed a crime and you're bringing them back to your jurisdiction, you need the U.S. Marshals with you. So if she assaulted a marshal, it would be a federal crime, a federal, assault on a federal officer. But it's not a federal crime. Escape is escape. Attempted escape is attempted escape. She didn't actually get away. She attempted to get away. So could she be looking at another 10 years on top of a sentence? Maybe. But when you're getting charged with first-degree murder, it doesn't matter, so what? You're going to put life plus 10 years? Life in prison plus 10 years? It's not going to matter. Those charges are going to be irrelevant. And I'm telling you from a professional law enforcement standpoint, the charges that she assaulted a police officer are not, no, I don't like to hear that. A fellow brother or sister being assaulted, I don't like to hear that. But it doesn't matter. We shouldn't get our panties in a ruffle over that. Albeit it is not a good thing. It shows her character and how bad of a person she is. But at the end of the day, folks, I'm here to tell you that though that charge is not going to mean jack. It's not going to mean anything. So let me read to you an article that I read earlier, guys. Meek Van Beek, there will be justice. There will be justice. Love and peace right back to you, Carla. Thank you so much. So El Paso County, KKTV, stepmother of missing 11-year-old boy has officially arrived in El Paso County, that was yesterday, to face her murder charges. She may face new charges after reportedly attacking a deputy during the extradition process. Letitia was booked in the criminal justice mid-Thursday morning after being transported by vehicle. Now, there's other people that I've watched, other reports and other YouTubers, report that she was put on a plane and flown. She was transported by vehicle, as we all know. And she arrived mid-Thursday morning following a nearly 48-hour cross-county journey from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where she was arrested March 2nd on first-degree murder. Her arrest came 5 weeks to the day after she first reported her stepson a runaway to authorities. News 11 learned that Letitia slipped out of her handcuffs in the back of her transport vehicle. If she was shackled at the legs, she wouldn't have been able to do anything. She was transported. She slipped out of her handcuffs in the back of a transport vehicle from South Carolina to Colorado and reportedly attacked a deputy. Sources tell News 11 the deputy was taken to the hospital with injuries, unknown injuries. That's why her transport was suddenly stopped, and that's why Letitia was jailed in Kansas for about 12 hours. She was released Thursday morning from Kansas jail and appeared for her video advisement in Colorado Springs, Colorado, on Thursday. So, guys, I know for a fact that if you are driving that far with a prisoner, you have to stop to sleep. So the jails, and this Kansas jail reported on the booking, there was a picture taken of her, because if you book somebody in any jail, even if it's for a courtesy overnight layover, which I've done before, I booked my prisoner in overnight, and they take a picture because they have to have a picture of the person who's there. But in this case, the picture was not probably taken as a booking picture on a new charge. They're going to charge her with those charges against that officer when they get back. But there may be a chance that they have to charge that or actual assault in the actual county it happened. So there may be a two-pronged thing with the picture. They may have booked her and gave her the additional new charges within that jurisdiction. I'm not sure. But we shouldn't get caught up in all the technical of this. We shouldn't get caught up in the technical of all of this. And the reason I say that is because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant when it comes to the major part of the charges that she's facing, murder first degree. The murder first degree is first and foremost, and that's what we should be concentrating on, is justice for Gannon. It's a horrible thing to assault a police officer. I'm telling you, I'm retired. I hate to hear it, but you know what? That's part of our job, and that's what happens to us on a regular basis. We get assaulted every day. The men and women who are out there risking their lives on the line for our safety, we face this stuff. This is routine. This happens on a regular basis. I can tell you that on no uncertain terms, there has been more than 20 to 30 different incidents that I've been involved in where I personally got injured in wrestling and fighting a perpetrator that's resisting arrest. I've been hurt at least 20 to 30 times over my 20-year period as a police officer. Hello, Real Massacre Talk. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the conversation. For those of you who are new and first time in on the broadcast, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Also follow me, all one word, DutyRon, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and over right here on YouTube. All one word, DutyRon. Again, I go live a lot. We speak about a lot of different police public interaction, and I'm going to give you basically my side from a law enforcement perspective on what goes on in the criminal justice system. Now, don't forget, not only do I know about police, I know about how criminal justice, how trials go. I know how the prosecution goes after cases. I've worked on thousands of prosecution cases. Thousands of arrests I've made over the course of my time, 2 decades as a police officer in the New York City Police Department, the largest police department in the world, not just in the nation, in the world. The New York City Police Department is larger than Italy's army. New York City Police Department is larger than Italy's armed forces. We have more members in the police department than Italy's armed forces. So there you go. Hello, Savvy. Good to see you from all the way from Hawaii. Savage Savvy, great to see you on the broadcast. So, guys, the chat is going real fast. I know I've missed some of you all. Linda, welcome in from Canada. That is my good friend, Linda Cormier from Canada. Much love and respect to you. Guys, I'm representing the Blue Line flag. I'm trying to pull it up so you guys can see it. Let me lower this. This is my Blue Line jacket, and I'm representing the police, the Blue Line. The Blue Line is also for standing against child abuse and child abuse throughout the country. So I was so happy to see the extradition judge in South Carolina wearing a blue tie. That was awesome. That was really awesome. Again, guys, I'm approaching the 14,000 subscriber mark, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel. You know, like I said, I do provide clear and concise information straight from a law enforcement professional. So if that's something that you're interested in hearing from a law enforcement guy like myself, 20 plus year veteran, then this is the right spot for you. I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters, all the people who are channel members here, anybody who's given Super Chat during the course of time. I do pay it forward. This month's Super Chat, I'm going to be donating all to the mother of Thomas Valva, Justina. I already sent over a generous donation to her from my previous month's Super Chat, but this month, in the month of March, I've decided to donate all of my Super Chat money to Justina Valva, Zupko Valva. She's the mother of Thomas Valva. Her son was killed by their father, ex-NYPD transit police officer, Michael Valva. And that's what I plan to do. So at the end of this month, when I get the Super Heart payout on the 21st, I will be forwarding that money over to Justina on behalf of all of us. So that's my way and our way of paying our donations forward. So if you continue to watch my videos, let the ads play. Even if you don't send Super Chat, it's a way for you to support Justina. So thank you to each and every one of you for coming, watching the videos, leaving the comments down below, and also interacting positively in the chat. That always is a great thing. So guys, I'm going to end it. Again, let's concentrate on Gannon's mom and dad. Let's say prayers for him. Let's say prayers for his family, and stand strong. to remember, stand against child abuse, stand against neglect, and let's always, always keep in mind the people who are still left behind, the victims. They are the victims as well. Not only is Gannon a victim, of murder, but, we're talking about the families that have to live the rest of their lives, and it's really, really horrible. So let's keep them close to our hearts. Let's keep positive, and I appreciate all the blue hearts in the chat. Paul Peck Drywall, everyone go follow him. He's a great guy. Joey Brooklyn, all the great ones in here. Guys, support the great content creators that are out there sending out a positive message. So much love and respect. Amanda, love you. Much love and respect from my house to yours. Until the next one, DutyRon is signing off. Peace, guys. Love and respect. Look for an update tonight on the Thomas Valva case. I have some major updates to talk to you about. So look for me tonight around 10 p.m. Eastern, updates on Thomas Valva case. There's many updates and things I need to speak to you guys about. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.